What's up, gamer people? It's your boy Petros85, and in today's Injustice 2 video, we'll be talking about the 9 possible DLC characters that are going to be popped for Injustice 2. Of course, I'm going to be going off of what's going on in the comics because they've been very cohesive with each other, what's going on in the games and what's going on in the comics. So what they've been doing is they set a roll of comics like the first Injustice, then the game comes out, and whatever happens in the comics, they translate that into the game. Whatever happens to the game, they then translate it back into the comics and so forth. So as right now, I'm gonna go what's really happening into the comics of the Injustice 2 comics. So there might be some spoilers if you guys are planning to read it or anything like that. Of course, we already know the first 3 DLC characters, which is Red Hood, Sub-Zero, and Starfire. And of course, we also know about maybe like 4 characters or who they are, or maybe like 2 really know who they are, and the other 2 could be speculations on who they are. So let's go ahead and do what it do and get this started. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the right side of the person in the middle, just looking at his overall armor, and of course his pointy hat. Everybody's speculating it's gonna be Raiden, and I also agree it's gonna be Raiden because his whole armor and everything, there's no other person that it could be. So then I'm gonna move all the way to the other side, which is the person on the left side in the middle, which is gonna be Black Manta. Of course, I never seen anybody else with that kind of helmet as well, so he's clearly the obvious. If you guys that read comic books like really hardcore that could point somebody else that wears a helmet like that, please go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But as of right now, he's the only person that I know, and it's kind of obvious at the same time. Then moving on to the person all the way to the right side of Raiden, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's gonna be the Enchantress. Of course, it could be somebody else that we know, but just her overall silhouette and her helmet actually looks like the person in the movie. And I can really see that they're actually playing more to the Suicide Squad, and they're trying to put more characters into that sort of style in this game. Now moving on all the way to the person all the way to the left side, it's gonna be Adam. Of course, just the sort of the icon that they put when you're selecting your characters give it away by making them small. Of course, that could be a tease or just a speculation to throw you off thinking it's another character. But as of right now, I'm going to Adam, especially right now in the comics. Adam is alive, and what Batman did was he made Adam shrink into super small to where he could fit in Superman's brain, sort of like a safety default, just in case if Superman ever got out, he'd be able to get him into shock. He has like this small kryptonite shard that'll be able to stab his brain to stop Superman. Moving on to the last 2 characters, I'm gonna give you guys 3 characters that I think it could possibly be. I'm gonna give you guys one what people are saying online who it's gonna be, who I think it is going off by the comics, and of course the last one's gonna be by who I want it to be. I'm gonna start off on the left side, right next to Sub-Zero. Everybody's saying that that's gonna be Constantine, but at the same time I don't think that's gonna be him, because right now in the comics he sort of made Batman and Superman run into Trigon. If you guys don't know who Trigon is, that's Raven's father, sort of to battle so he could get out of a deal that he made with him so he could be with his daughter. So after he forced him to fight Trigon, he sort of went into hiding with his daughter, and he's nowhere to be found. Of course, that's a good reason to bring him into the game because both sides hate him, and that would be a great combat and story thing. But I believe right now they would put him probably more into a comic to know his storyline before they put him into the game. But who I really think is gonna be is Ra's al Ghul. Yes guys, Ra's al Ghul is alive, and right now he is forming a team in the comics. He's practically getting all these villains, and Harley Quinn is one of his members that he's trying to get as it's going on in the storyline. Now of course, who I want it to be, I really want it to be Deadman, but not just any Deadman. I want it to be Dick Grayson's Deadman. If what's going on in the comics, Deadman died and Dick Grayson took his place since he died in the beginning of the storyline, and that would be really interesting to have this Dick Grayson's Deadman fight against Damian Wayne Robin in the game. What kind of banter they would have back and forth. Now moving on to the next character all the way in the right side of Red Hood. A lot of people have been speculating that this is Beast Boy in like his gorilla form, or just in any form, which they're gonna shrink him down to size. But that's not possible because in the beginning of the Injustice series, Beast Boy actually died, so he's dead, so he can't come in the game at all, or in the storyline he's dead for reals, no coming back. But my character to pick on who it's gonna be, I actually gonna believe it's Killer Croc. In one of the cutscenes when you're fighting, he actually shows up just like Black Manta shows up So he's in the cutscene, so he's in the game, and of course in the comic books he is still alive. So either way, that's a permanent character, and of course he's part of the Suicide Squad, which, like I said before, they're really trying to put these Suicide characters into the game. But my main choice, which I believe a lot of people are not gonna like, is gonna be a Tremor from MK. I know, guys, we already have Sub-Zero and we already have Raiden, but my main character that I wish it could be is Trevor, and the reason why is Sub-Zero is more of like an elusive, sort of like Red Hood kind of fighter. Bringing Raiden in could be like a fast type, sort of like Catwoman or Cheetah, really fast strikes, movement. And of course you're gonna need something to balance both of those out by bringing him and making him sort of like Bane or Atrocitus or Swamp Thing or even a Brainiac, sort of like this slow movement but super high powered attack kind of character. Let me know what you guys think of my character selection. Hopefully you guys like this video. Like and subscribe. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuce deuce.